all of these shotgun shell casings get stuck.
Left hand gripping the blade so tight, not my strong side, but it feels just right. The edge hums low like a whispering friend. This ain't a fight, it's a means to an end. Left hand swings while the right one schemes. What's it holding? What's it mean? Left hand strikes, but the truth's unseen. The right hand's got secrets, sharp and clean. I faint to the left, my eyes stay straight. I dance in the dust, a twist of fate. The crowd leans in, but they'll never see what the right hand's hiding from history. It's not the blade, it's the slide. The shadow move out of sight. Left hand swings while the right one schemes. What's it holding? What's it mean? Left hand strikes, but the truth's unseen. The right hand's got secrets, sharp and clean. It's not just a duel, it's a masquerade. One hand's a show, the other's the trade. Left hand dances, the audience cheers. Right hand erases, no trace of fear.
What's up, guys? We are back out at the farm. It is another scorcher out here. July in Georgia is no joke. So if you see me sweating to death, say a prayer for me. I'm just going to have to suffer through it. Today we're going to talk about the Judge, the Taurus Judge in the year of our Lord 2025. Is it a gimmick? Is it still a gimmick? Or is it now becoming an affordable big bore revolver? Because it's chambered in 410, but it also shoots 45 long Colt. And I don't care what you say, 45 long Colt is a substantial caliber. They can be loaded pretty decently with some pretty decent bullets and make some pretty decent results. So I'm not really interested in this as a 410 shotgun, pocket shotgun. I know a lot of people say, hey, load it up with birdshot, stick it in your bag, stick it in your tackle box, and that way whenever you run across a rattlesnake, you'll have some rattlesnake medicine. But I don't really care about that, because usually if you're in a place where you're going to come across rattlesnakes, you're going to come across bigger stuff as well. Out here we have a bunch of wild pigs, bobcats, mountain lions, small to medium-sized bears, all that good stuff. So I am more interested in just a super cheap stainless steel 45 caliber revolver that I can load up with some woods walking bullets. So that's what I'm going to enter this testing with that in mind. Two of my detractors for the Judge, one is that it's a Taurus. I have been burned in the past by Taurus on two different guns. I had one of their little pocket pistol, I think it was a 380, one of their little pocket pistols, it broke. I had one of their snub nose 357 Magnums, guess what? It broke. So I broke two Tauruses, I junked them, I don't care about a warranty. Like, I don't care if it's lifetime warranty, because a warranty isn't good if your gun is broken. And then you have to send it off and wait 2 or 3 weeks to get somebody to email you back and to get it back, blah, blah, blah. I don't care, not interested in a warranty. But say all that to say, I think this thing went on sale, right? A pretty substantial sale. And I think I'm ready to be hurt again. So we're going to give this Judge a try. I'm pretty much just going to shoot 45 long Colt. We might put some birdshot in it for fun. But I'm pretty much going to exclusively shoot 45 long Colt. One of my concerns about this, one, is it breaking? But second, the biggest concern is its accuracy. Usually if you take a platform and tell it to do too many things or more things than you kind of want it to, it loses some effectiveness somewhere. So this thing feels like it was designed to shoot 410, and 45 long Colt is kind of an afterthought. So with that in mind, some people argue about the depth of the rifling, whether or not it'll stabilize a 45 long Colt good enough to even be useful. So I am going to compare it to a 45 long Colt that I already have, which is this Ruger New Vaquero I mean, they're different guns, sure, whatever. But this new Vaquero was designed to shoot 45 long Colt. So that's what I'm going to use kind of as my test bed for accuracy. I'm going to compare these to each other. If this thing is comparable to the new Vaquero, it gets a pass. If this thing is substantially worse than the new Vaquero, then I'm going to put it, again, I'll load it with birdshot, I'll put it in the gun safe, and I'll never touch it again. I might use it as a hammer or a boat anchor or something like that. Today we're going to fire a couple different rounds out of it. I've got two options from Underwood. One being this is the XTP. One being an XTP kind of hollow point, and one being a hard cast wad cutter. I'm super interested in the hard cast wad cutter, just because it's kind of designed for the outdoors, heavier boned animals, things like that. That's kind of what I'm interested in. So let's go set up some targets real quick. We'll get some really kind of fast and loose accuracy numbers, and if it passes, we'll move on to something else. Keep reviewing the Judge a little bit, maybe shoot some watermelons, who knows, and see if it's worth carrying as a stainless knock-around revolver. I could, of course, load the new Vaquero up with some wad cutters and call it a day. But it's single action, the sights aren't great, and I don't really want to knock this thing around the woods the same way I would a stainless steel revolver that is half its price. So let's get after it and see what we find out. So the first test with any new gun or with any budget gun or with any AR-15 that you let your cousin assemble for you, the first test is always, does it blow up? Didn't blow up, but was kind of sticky on extraction. I'm gonna fire a couple more cylinders just to make sure it's all loosened up and ready, and then we'll go to the accuracy portion. Okay, we're back here at 15 yards. I've got a camera on the target. There's a couple sighting in shots on the right-hand low target. Just ignore those. A couple things I've learned. One, the sights on both of these revolvers are much different than the other ones in regards to where they think the ammo is going to go and what ammo placement should happen, blah, blah, blah. Ruger new Vaquero on the right, Judge on the left, wad cutters on top, jacketed hollow points on the bottom. We'll start with the jacketed hollow points, and we will shoot 5 because the Judge can only shoot 5. So we'll be doing 5-shot groups. I'm a bad pistol shot. I'm a bad shooter. I'm a bad person. Those are my excuses. The sights on these things are off for what we're going to be doing. It seems like the Ruger wants you to really hang that front blade out there real high, so that it's more of like a, I don't know, combat sight. And the Judge seems like you want to really bury it down real low, for whatever reason. So got me a nice little prop here. Get all my stuff out of the way. And so these are jacketed hollow points. Bottom right, Ruger new Vaquero. I'm gonna try to not blow up my bag because these things do have some cylinder gaps that can eat up all kind of funny stuff. Shots out of that. These things are spicy. I mean, these 45 long Colt is nothing to turn your nose up at. We'll rip 5 out of the Judge. Bottom left, XCPs. Might be off paper on that one. Hopefully I didn't put all of those in the dirt. I blew my paper plate off. Alright, so that cannot be a good group because I blew my paper plate off, and instead of resetting it and starting over, I just fired where I thought I was going to be on the paper. So this test may be nonsense, but let's go see what we got. Okay, so targets are pretty messy, so I am going to try to walk you through what happened. I will say that my findings were correct in that the Ruger was hitting bad low and the Taurus is hitting bad high. So we'll start over here on the Ruger. These are the XTPs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, this and this, the marked ones, those are already accounted for. Those were targeting shots. This is a group somewhere in the 3.5 inch range. I'll just go ahead and open those up. Somewhere in the 3.5 inch range. Not great. The wad cutters are hitting bad low, but here we go. We got them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The group was a little bit tighter on those, right around 2 3/4 inch, but again, kind of that low at 15 yards. I mean, the sights are cowboy sights, so I get it, but that doesn't make me want to like carry that in the woods, you know. We'll go over here to the Taurus, to the XTPs. Here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these are 223 and some 9mm, so it's easy to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This group is somewhere in the 3.5 inch range, about 3.5 inches. Again, point of aim back pretty high. Here we go for the wad cutters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The paper plate fell off, but I kind of knew where I was holding based on this paper plate. So this is still a group of about 3 inches. These two stacked right on top of each other. A group of right about 3 inches. So this is at 15 yards. So what that tells me is two things. One, always check your load against your sights. If you have fixed sights, good luck. Either change your load, learn math, get lucky, or buy adjustable sights. Two, that also tells me that, I mean, I'm not a pro pistol shooter, but that tells me that this Judge is, I mean, in my hands with this ammo, as accurate as that new Vaquero. So I don't really have a problem with that at all. So there we go. Again, sweating to death. You'll have to forgive me. But yeah, so that tells me a couple things. One, check your sights, especially on a fixed sight gun, especially on a revolver. Revolvers seem to be a little bit more picky to me than semi-autos. So check your revolver sights. Make sure that your ammo and the type of sights you're running that you're familiar with them. And two, it also tells me that the Judge is just as accurate as the new Vaquero. So I'm good with that. As long as the gun doesn't blow up, I'm good with that. If you have a Judge, tell me what ammo you run in it. But for right now, I'm going to load that thing up with the hard cast wad cutters and just practice a little bit more so that I know where I'm hitting. And then, I don't know, call it a day. That's that. Thanks for watching, guys. Would you buy a Judge in 2025? We're going to go and do a non-scientific watermelon test because those 45 long Colts were popping out of those revolvers for sure. So don't turn your nose up at 45 long Colt. Just buy modern SAMI ammunition. Oh, it's spooky out there. Ooh. Love it. We're out here in the woods with the ticks. I'm not going to shoot that dog. I am going to shoot these two watermelons. First one with the hard cast, second one with the XTP. This is not scientific, but you know, it is fun.